Hello.
Okay, very good. Good morning, co-banker George. Happy to see you. This is a Monday morning, very nice day. I hope you had a nice weekend. But I can't believe that we are approaching the end of August, which means we'll only have 4 more months to go for this calendar year. But effectively, we only have 2 more months in the real estate, because usually November and December is a very slow month for real estate. So if you have not achieved your goal this year, it is time to reevaluate and look at what you have done and try to achieve what you have planned in during the beginning of the year. Okay, there's not too much time left. Wrap up your engines and go to do marketing, door knocking, whatever it takes. The good news is that the Fed is going to reduce the interest rate for sure in September. They're thinking of reducing to 25 percentage point, and maybe there's a slight chance that they will reduce reduce it by 50 percentage point, but don't expect too much, but at least a 25 percentage point. And by November, they're going to reduce again, I think, by another 25 percentage point. So at least for this year, we'll have at least 50 percentage point for the reduction. So that will give a big boost for the real estate, because everybody is expecting that for the long time, and it's finally coming to realizations that we need that very much. And hopefully the Fed will agree with us and effectuate the reduction. And also another good news is that the inventories of the houses are getting more and more. The reason is because we are in the verge of a recession. A lot of people are experiencing the hardship of keeping up with the mortgages and daily expenses. And so this is time that they consider putting up their houses for sale. And that's good. That's good for the buyers, because you have the reduction of interest rate and there are more inventories. That means that the buyers have better chance getting the real estate or getting their dream homes. So don't lose hope, and there's a lot of activities out there, and you just have to be optimistic, confident, and do your work. Okay. All right. With that, I would like to start the meeting, and I welcome the affiliates to our meeting, and I appreciate your support. And today we have Tony from the Villa Property Inspection, and he's going to talk to us about everything you want to know about the home inspection. But before we go to him, I would like to introduce the rest of the affiliates, and let's begin with Nancy Chen from Lawyers Title. Nancy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, everybody.
Joining live in Oregon, huh?
Yeah, and having a couple of espresso. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Peter, Michelle. Yes, Nancy Chen, Lawyers Title. I'm heading back today. Technology is amazing. As soon as I land, I get all the Oregon State Energy stuff popping up on my email. So they're tracking all of us. So use technology to your benefit. And I think that, like Peter says, time to regroup and go forward, because when interest rate drop, you're going to have a lot of calls coming in, and inventory is up. And like I said, I see bankruptcies, I see foreclosures, I see all this stuff. So let's work together. Nancy Chan, Lawyers Title. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Michelle. Bye-bye. Okay, bye.
Have a nice trip home, okay?
I will. Thank you. Bye.
All right. All right. John, how are you? John Wax.
Good morning, Peter and Michelle. Thank you again for allowing us to be here and part of this great meeting and great office. I just want to say that this is still a great time to get in touch with your sphere of influence. It's not spirit, it's sphere of influence. And door knocking is still a great way to go. The heat is, yes, it's coming back a little bit. So bring water with you. Bring some information that will be beneficial, letting them know that interest rates are dropping and that it's a time to get involved in the real estate market, and that you're their consultant to get all the basic knowledge they need in order to get involved and be able to thrive in this market that we're coming into. As far as the NHD end goes, I do encourage you, order the Snap NHD reports at time of listing. It's risk-free. You only pay if it closes. I even go a step further. Take it with you on your listing appointment. Show them that you're different. Show them that you know what the taxes are, you know any hazards that may be affecting the property, and how to speak to the buyers so that they're prepared and they get the proper insurances in place so there's no delays in the transaction. You've got to be able to do that. For your leases, we're the only ones with the free lease report. You do need an NHD report. It's a flood zone only for your leases. In addition, it's easy. They can sign off on it, but you've met your burden and in compliance with everything. And yes, there are fires burning all over the place. They just put out one in Riverside County. And the best way to know whether or not you're in a high or very high fire severity zone is order the Snap NHD report. In the reports, we tell you in 5 places, properties in a fire zone that may require the use of the form, and we put it in the form in the report. So you don't have to search anywhere. If it's there, call me. I'll be happy to go over it with your clients. And we also have the property tax estimator. You can check out the property taxes anytime on our website. And then if you need, don't look up any websites or anything like that. Contact me. I'll check flood zones. I'll check fire zones. And in less than a half hour, I'll be able to get the data to you and done by professionals instead of you looking at it and maybe skipping or missing what is actually being put on the map there for you. And let's go out and have a wonderful close to August and a great start to September. And I'm looking forward to it. This is the time that we usually flourish just before the holidays. So let's do it. And thank you so much for your business. I love being part of your team. My information will be in the chat.
Very good. Thank you, John. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay. Keaton, how are you?
Morning, Peter. Good morning, everyone else. Happy Monday. I'll be quick this morning. Apartment owners and boards of HOAs are still hurting tremendously. I have a new market with Honeycomb. They write older builds too. That's been a challenge for a lot of carriers recently, writing those older properties. And I just recently got a quote same day for an apartment that was built in 1950. So if you know anybody that's an apartment owner, they're likely struggling. I'm more than happy to help, and I can do it very quickly as well. So I'll put my information in the chat, and I hope everyone has a great week.
You know, Keaton, I think the insurance crisis is getting worse. One of my friends who has a house in San Marino, her insurance, the homeowner insurance, went from 13,000 to 32,000. What's going on?
I'm working on a home in San Marino right now. Similar story. They were paying just over 10,000, and now it's 34,000 right on Oak Knoll.
Oh yeah, what happened? I mean,
yeah,
gosh,
there's too many lawyers, Peter.
Too many lawyers.
Yeah, the liability, they know how to game the system that spikes the liability costs. We're seeing that on the auto side too, 50% increases on average across the state. Yeah. It's because anyone who gets into an accident, they get a lawyer and they force these insurance companies to pay out a ton of money. So that's a big driver, but then also the threat of the wildfires, John was saying, it's a continuing risk. So.
But I was told that the insurance commissioners have a cap on the adjustment of the insurance premium. Why they cannot more than so many percent? But this in this case, I quoted, is more than 200%. That's crazy.
Yeah, it depends on the line of coverage. But they've been going back and forth about this for for years now, because before, yeah, they had a cap at about 7%. They couldn't
Yeah.
raise their rates any
Right.
higher than that.
Yeah.
But insurance carriers, if they met that 7% threshold, they still were losing money on their loss ratio. They still weren't making enough. So they're trying to find like the healthy medium where insurance carriers can still be profitable and offer insurance policies while trying to keep that price maintained. But it's kind of in that dilemma right now where we're trying to figure out what that price looks like, what that threshold is.
I see. Oh, but that's not a pretty picture, huh?
No, it's not pretty at all.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it. All right, Andrew, haven't seen you for a while. How are you?
Me?
Yeah. You all
Hi,
right?
how you doing? Hi, Peter.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Andrew calling. I'm from Pacific Alliance Bank. Right now, we're still promoting SBA 78. As well as the income mortgage loans. I want to share with all of us that the current SBA is waiving guarantee fee for up to $1 million until September 30th, I believe. If your customer looking for purchase occupied buildings or refinance existing loans, and they would like to go with SBA, but now SBA is waiving its guarantee fee up to $1 million until end of September. Okay, so we took our time to go, and also for mortgages, we're still offering state income program right now. The rate starting 7.25% until upwards of 7.5 to 7.875% range, depends on the situation, depends on type of property you're looking at. And also we are still waiving $1,500 parking fee right now. So basically, your clients are basically paying for a credit check, a credit fee, as well as appraisal, and then of course, property insurance, title, and other third-party fees only. We do not charge. We are waiving up to $1,500 of service fee at our end. And also, right now we're looking for a few good construction projects. And anyway, my info is in the chat room. Give me a call if any questions. By the way, for commercial loans, we are able to. We're looking for fixed rate now, fixed rate upwards of from 7.25% to the 8% range. So if any customer are looking for a fixed rate commercial loan, right now it's a good time to call me. We're able to accommodate your request. All right. My info is in the chat room. Give me a call anytime, and I'm here to help. Thank you.
So for the SBA loans, they are waiving the guarantee fees now? Until what time?
Yes.
Until when?
Until end of September.
End of September.
End of September.
Okay.
Right. If you have, the loan must be funded before end of September to receive the benefit. SBA guarantee is pretty hefty sometimes for borrowers.
Yeah.
Right now, they're able to waive up to $1 million loan.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we go to Unita Wood. Home warranty.
Good morning. Hi,
Good morning.
Peter. Hi, everyone. Hi, Michelle. Good morning. Unita Wu from Home Warranty of America, the 13-month home warranty. As always, for home warranty, I agree with John that please make sure that you order the home warranty ahead of time, because right now the sellers do need the net estimate, right? So a lot of time right now within like open escrow right away, they open the home warranty, the NHD, and all the other good stuff. So please CC me a copy when you have a new orders. We also want to make sure that you order it under the correct agent, which is you. You are the representing Coldwell Banker George Realty. And another good thing too for ordering a home warranty ahead of time that we could be able to let the buyers know this is the plan. And some buyers right now, they want to get the plan differently, right? So we need to discuss it. If there is a changes or things like that, they need to add or delete or whatever they need to do. Also, I do want to mention there's a lot of ADU coming up right now. We do sell the ADU for additional $250. So if you have those ADU, please let me know, because sometimes like I don't see the property. I have no idea, right? So then I just have one closing, they're missing an ADU, and they finally found out after the closing. Luckily, we could be able to add that coverage. But you just never know, like any health insurance or anything like that. You just never know. Today you're good. Even a brand new ADU leaks the next day, right? So please let me know. And I just want to say thank you again for all your continued support. I do have an English, Chinese, Mandarin, and Spanish brochure if you guys need it. And also just to kind of let everybody know too that we are the only home warranty company that gave $1,000 deductible for the homeowner insurance. So if you need that, it is available for you and your client. Thank you again.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, I have a question. You need that if the ADU is connected to the main house, you don't have to get a separate warranty for the ADU, right?
Usually don't, but then I would suggest you just, if you have extra money, just put it in other mother-in-law unit, or you could buy an extra appliances for like maybe if they have 2 dishwasher, 2 range, 2 oven, or whatever it is, you could add additional $40 for additional appliances, so that additional plan could be applied to the second appliances. Because I have a property just recently closed, they have 2 kitchen, like for example, they have a walk kitchen, they have a regular kitchen. So just add the appliances for $40 more, you get more package into the plan, because at the end of the day, it's really when they file the claim, they want to get the most claim out from the home warranty. And when you don't do that, then unfortunately it doesn't cover up to that limit only, and people usually want to have multiple limits.
Interesting.
So I would suggest you to add the $250 into any guest house, anything that you could be able to get if you are writing an offer, just add it more for your buyers.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay, I think that's all the affiliates other than Tony. So do we have any other that's hidden in the background? Any more affiliates? If not, I would like to introduce Tony from Villa Property Inspection. He is the affiliate spotlight today, and he will tell us everything or secret or that we should look into property inspections. Tony, take it away.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Glad to see everybody here. Yes, we are wrapping up August. Can you believe it? We have 4 months left, and a lot of work to do. Luckily, I see from the home inspection side that it is starting to get busy. Our phones are ringing a lot more. And so I kind of gauge the market based on how many phone calls we get. So I've seen an uptake recently. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then I can get started. Let me put that right here. Okay, so today I am going to be talking about how to leverage your home inspection and get the most out of your home inspection. Your clients, a lot of the time, especially first-time home buyers, don't really know a whole heck of a lot about the real estate transaction process, and much less a home inspection. Everybody knows what a home inspection is, kind of, but it really helps you get the most out of the inspection. So a little bit about myself. For those of you who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, my name is Tony Escamilla. I'm the owner of Villa Property Inspections. We've been in business for 26 years here in the San Gabriel Valley, but we cover all of Southern California. I am a licensed contractor and a certified commercial and residential inspector, as are my other inspectors. We've done about 9,000, or I've done about 9,000 inspections personally. What we do single family inspections, multifamily, commercial office buildings, everything from a warehouse up to, I think we just finished 2 hospitals and a few churches over this last year. We do sewer camera inspections, mold inspections, thermal imaging, moisture detection, and pools. So we're basically your one-stop shop for inspection. So when you call us, you can schedule everything all at once and not have to worry about calling different people. One of the things that we have been doing a lot lately, and we just did the Apartment Owners Association Expo on Thursday in Long Beach, is we've been doing a lot of SB 721 balcony inspections. And somebody touched on this a little while ago about insurance. And one of the things that I heard during the expo from a lot of companies and a lot of property investors is that insurance companies are now starting to ask for the certifications on balconies. So if you work with property management companies, if you work with multifamily investors, this is something that's definitely coming up on your radar. Our phones have just been blowing up lately because the deadline is January 1st of 2025 to get all your balconies inspected. So how to get the most of your home inspection? First, the first rule in getting the most out of your home inspection report is to do no damage, to do no harm first. And what I mean by that is you want to prevent problems from happening during and after the inspection. And that is our #1 problem with phone calls after the inspection, which phone calls go to you as well, is the buyer hasn't read the inspection agreement. So they don't understand quite what we're offering them. And more importantly, what's not covered by a home inspection. There's a lot of assumptions that the home inspection is going to cover every square inch of the house, and it doesn't, or that the home inspection is some kind of a warranty. So if something goes wrong 6 months from now, they're still going to call and want somebody to take care of it for them. So the best thing you can do is have your clients read the inspection agreement beforehand, and also to attend the inspection so that they can ask questions and we can explain things. Because it's misunderstandings typically that cause the biggest problems for you, for them, for us. And it prevents your transaction from continuing smoothly. So the best way to leverage your home inspection is to make sure that you prevent some of the problems. So, and you can do that by attending the inspection. And I don't say this to be mean, but leave the kids at home. Have your clients leave the kids at home when they come to a home inspection. That they can concentrate during the inspection that they're paying for. This is a mighty big investment for them. There's a lot of stress, and the better that they can concentrate, they can ask questions of the home inspector, they can follow us around, they can listen and really listen to the summary at the end of the inspection. It makes your transaction run smoother, and you get the most out of your home inspection that way. After the inspection, one of the things that I see that home buyers, I get a lot of phone calls about is that when we give them that short summary at the end of the inspection, it is nothing but a summary. It doesn't cover every aspect of the report. So I highly recommend that you read the report with them, have them read the entire report, because there is some information on there that wasn't probably presented in the summary, and that'll help you get the most out of the home inspection. Also, best way to get a lot out of your home inspection is to schedule that Zoom conference or conference call with us after the inspection. We offer that service to all of our clients, and only about 10% of them actually take us up on this. So that is the opportunity that once everybody has the report, once everybody's read the report, they can call us. We'll sit down, we'll do a Zoom call, we'll review the entire report for them. That way there's no misunderstandings, no stress. It doesn't hold up your transaction, and you're able to get the most out of the transaction. A few days after the report goes out, we send out a final walkthrough checklist to the buyer and to the agent. And I know that everybody does their final walkthrough, but I've heard of some people who don't or haven't, and it tends to create a few problems. But doing the final walkthrough along with a punch list from the home inspection really lets you get the most out of the inspection and prevents any unwanted surprises right before you close escrow. Also, when you negotiate items, credit for the inspection, a lot of times we get phone calls from angry home buyers 6 months down the road because something was leaking or something was wrong with the property. We come to find out later on that it was in fact in our report. It was negotiated. There was a credit. And because there was no actual money exchanged or anything like that, escrow closed, and everybody forgot that these items still hadn't been fixed. And yeah, if you want to get the most out of your home inspection, you need to tell your buyers, hey, be sure, look, we negotiated this credit for this repair, X, Y, or Z, but you need to make sure it actually gets done. We get a lot of your inspector should have caught that. It usually happens right after the buyer moves in and they hire a contractor to do some renovation, and they find something and they say, well, your inspector should have caught that. But if you have them read the agreement, you do all of these other things by showing up to the inspection, by asking questions, by doing a Zoom call, you can completely avoid that. Now, a really good way to leverage your inspection report is to order your repair pricer report. And basically what that is, along with the inspection, is they'll take our inspection report and create an actual cost estimate for the repairs. And you can have that report back to you within 24 hours after you get your inspection report. It helps you with the negotiation. It prevents you from bringing in other contractors and paying your transaction. So this is a really good way for a single family residence. It's under $100. It's a really good way to keep your transaction going and really get the most out of your negotiation. And last but not least, this is nothing to do with your transaction, but it is very much a good way to leverage your home inspection with us. We offer a service that's called My Home IQ. It is 100% free to you and to the client. It is basically a 12-month subscription to our monthly email. And it's a lot of home improvement tips, reminders about changing smoke alarms, about changing air conditioning filters, HVAC maintenance, seasonal maintenance checklists. Those automatically go out to your client for the next 12 months after you close your transaction. And the important thing is that these are branded with your information, your photograph at the bottom of every single email, your contact information. So you've got an additional 12 touches that we're going to provide to you for free to your clients over the next year. And that's a really good way to help leverage your inspection report. And we also send them a home maintenance manual, a downloadable home maintenance manual as well, which is free to the client. So that's it. I didn't want to make it too long. I know you all have busy days, but please don't hesitate to reach out if you ever, and I always say this when I visit your office, either in person or online, but if you ever have any questions, if you're at a property, if you see something that doesn't look right, text me a photo. I'll be happy to take a look at it. I'll be happy to tell you what I think about it. And if you are on the listing side and you have a home inspection report from the opposing side, don't hesitate to email it to me. I'm more than happy to review those reports, and I'll tell you my honest opinion of whether the report is dead on or whether they're, blowing smoke.
Tony, very good information. Appreciate that very much. And I have a question. Now, you have been in home inspection for over 20 years. You have a lot of experience, but do you spot check unpermitted remodeling?
No, we don't. That's one thing that we don't comment on because we don't know what is permitted and what's not. What we do look at for when it looks like unpermitted construction, I'm especially going to look at the quality of the construction. See if there's anything that's out of the ordinary, and we'll tell you what the out of the ordinary is that we found. But we don't get involved as far as, hey, this room doesn't look like it's permitted.
然后他是去买一个细的来，然后他自己裁，然后自己凹。他就是我问他，我说
I mean, can you mute yourself?
他是这样做，他是会裁一片，然后他就把它包起来。就是这样，这里下来一点。那我说你既然要做的话，你上面为什么不这样？他说不用，那里就用胶弄起来就好。那我说你下面干嘛不用这样？
Okay, now I muted him.
You got him. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have calls. Okay.
Okay, Tony.
No worries.
Tony, so pricing, people are asking pricing.
Yeah, okay.
Pricing, typical home inspection, single family residence is $475 up to 2,000 square feet. And it's $75 for every 500 square feet after that. And of course, we offer all of the other services, like I said, mold, sewer, all of that stuff. Those are add-ons. But yeah, don't hesitate. Give my office a call. If you haven't spoken with my assistant, Danielle, she is fantastic, and she'll be happy to answer any questions, or you can text me directly. I put my personal phone number in the chat there, so don't hesitate to reach out to me directly.
Okay, thank you very much.
I have one question.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah, right now, whenever I see the report or majority of report, I'm kind of frustrated. Either my clients or myself, because in the report, quite a few is always said, we find this is probably some kind of foundation problem. Could be this, could be that. They actually we to have another professional to evaluate those kind of problems, and which is freaking my clients out. I said, wow, they have a foundation problem, or they have this kind of problem. Then we have to hire another professional to do that, and which is kind of recently happened on me. the report say they might have some kind of a movement problem, settlement problem. And my clients, went to hire a structural engineer and found out nothing. So that is something, I don't know why. I told my clients, the inspector trying to protect themselves, but
that is
anyway,
absolutely
you
true,
can,
Steve.
yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you why this happens with some inspection companies, because the law states when it comes to home inspections that you cannot comment specifically on something that you don't have expertise on or some kind of license to comment on. The difference between our company and a lot of other home inspection companies is we're licensed general contractors. So we can comment on foundation issues or anything else that comes on board. And we try really hard. And I tell my guys when they're doing the summary at the end of the inspection, these next 10 minutes are the most important part of your job. What you say, and more importantly, how you present it to the buyer is important, because we can make or kill your deal in 10 minutes. And we try really, really hard not to do that. Now, if we have to present bad information, unfortunately, that happens sometimes, but we try really, really hard not to do that. What you were alluding to right now about those comments, it's boilerplate information that most home inspectors use. It's, this foundation is older than, 30 years. It probably doesn't meet today's code. And you should probably have it evaluated by a foundation contractor. And you'll find that throughout a lot, because I review a lot of home inspection reports that listing agents sent me, and I see all of this commentary in there, and I agree with you. It does scare people. And then you bring out a specialist, and then they'll tell you there's nothing wrong, or you'll bring somebody out and they'll give you some ridiculously high estimate. We try to really, really minimize that in our reports, because we're not trying to alarm your clients. And we are able to make comments about a very specific item. For example, I'll say, hey, there are some cracks in the foundation. They're vertical in nature. There is no displacement. There is no settlement. It does not appear to be a structural issue. And if you do have to get a specialty contractor in there at any point, then yeah, that's usually when we feel that it's warranted, but only when it's warranted. But yeah, that is the reason why, is that the Business and Profession Code says that home inspectors are not allowed to comment on things that they don't have specific licensing or expertise on. And so, because I am a certified building inspector, I have the same certification that your local city building department inspector has, and I'm a licensed general contractor. I review every single report personally that goes out the door, that even when my guys do it. And so we do try to keep those comments to a minimum on our reports.
Thank
you very much.
Sense. Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. If no more questions for Tony, I would like to thank Tony for the presentation today. It's very informative. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Now let's continue with the meeting. And as you know, the next week is the Labor Day week, and so a lot of people will be probably going out of town, for the weekend, and so we would not have the Friday training this week. And also next Monday, because of this is the Labor Day, on Monday, the office will be closed also, so we'll have no meeting for Monday also. So but I think we will still have the Thursday at 1 o'clock in-person meeting to talk about the forms, right, Michelle? At 1 o'clock, Thursday at 1.
Yeah, sure.
Are we still on?
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that to help people out.
Yeah.
Sure. Yes.
So it is an in-person meeting, so it's not Zoom is not available. So if you want to come and have a discussion about the forms and any question about the recent development with the MLS and the any out settlement, you're welcome to come in person to this Thursday at 1 o'clock. Okay, at the Alhambra training room. Okay, now last week, one of the agents asked me whether he can do a listing and a sale in other states like in Missouri. I asked him, do you have a real estate license in Missouri? He says no. Then I said, well, I'm sorry that you cannot do real estate activities in Missouri, because every state has their own DLE. So and their own rules and regulations about real estate practice. But nevertheless, we have, since we have a co-op bank franchise, we have a network of brokers in every state that we can refer to, and we can get referral fees from it. So if you have a client that have property in the out of state, you can always refer to the local broker in that state, and then receive referral fees. Typically, it's 25%, but you can always negotiate for additional 5%. Sometimes they're willing to pay up to 30% referral fee, which is not bad, because you don't have to do anything, and you get 25% of their commission. And that's a good deal. Okay, so keep in mind, you don't practice real estate without a license in other state. Okay, all right. With that, I would like to bring Doug Meyer. Is Doug Meyer in the audience?
I'm here, Peter.
Oh, okay, Doug. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now tell us about business in Arcadia office.
Well, first of all, Arcadia, as you might know, is across the street from the mall, the racetrack, walking distance to the Arboretum, the LA County building, and Taco Bell, one of my favorites. So anyway, don't blame us if we get distracted over here sometimes, Peter. Okay, good news. 6 closings this week. That's nice,
Wow.
huh?
Good
So-
job. Good job.
Okay, we have 4 new listings. Alma Aguilar has a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house in Monrovia, $1,980,000 on Alta Vista, nice street. Laura Shin has a listing in Ontario, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, $888,000. Let's see. Oh, here, California. Wow. Okay, really nice luxury condos. Nick Borelli just listed one, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, $2.298 million, but he's got 3 more there. So if anybody wants a luxury condo, Nick's got plenty of them there for you. Okay, and just came in this morning on Hobart Street in Pasadena, a medical building, 66 Hobart, $16 million. Nick and a co-lister, Collier Homes. So he co-listed this 16 million, large medical building. Okay, so if you're anybody looking for a medical building in Pasadena, you've got one here. We had 3 recent sales. Laura had a buyer in Arcadia on 5th Avenue, $1,350,000. Steve Sattler and Nick Borelli got together on a listing that sold in LA on Cloverdale, $1,075,000. And the last one, Judy Salazar's listing in Pacific Palisades sold for $3,335,000. So a lot of big numbers there. Guys, keep working. Don't give up. Get those listings. Talk to your sphere of influence. Really important. Anybody you ever talk to, you see, introduce yourself. Let them know you're in real estate. If they seem to like you, put them on your sphere of influence. Okay.
Very
That's
good.
it. That's all I got today, Peter.
Yeah. Sphere of influence is the key, right? You got to keep it up no matter
Yep.
what. Yeah.
Yep,
Good. That's
sure.
that's the best source of clientele.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Doug. Good job. Thank you.
Thank
very
you,
much.
everybody.
All right. And as for Alhambra, we have one listing, which is by Lily Yuan for $2.28 million. It's a residence in Arcadia. She just got listed at 901 Kinsley Drive in Arcadia. So congratulations, Lily. Hope that's a very good, a nice house in Arcadia, $2.228 million. And we have 3 sales. First one is residential lease by Karina Pang, $86,100 for a house in Monterey Park. And then Rosa Reyes had a residence sold in Fontana for 785,500. And last but not the least, she may Camp double ended the lease for 77,200 for the office in Monterey Park. Okay, and that is all the listing and the sales. Do we have anybody who has additional listing and sales that are not mentioned in the report? Or if there's any reduction in price or new listings? No? Okay, well, let's go. Then we'll go right into our presentation today. I have a little bit thing to share with you today. Is about the seller's concession. Now, in the training last week in Alhambra, we came across the topic about the seller's concession. A lot of people don't. A lot of agents did not know that, and did not know the difference between the seller's concession and the commission. And as a matter of fact, the MLS make a big difference between the seller's concession in comparison with the commission, because for commission you definitely cannot list it in MLS, but for the seller's concession, MLS would allow you to mention about the possibility that the sellers will give concession to the buyer. So that's the new development. It's there are a lot of people don't know much of the difference, and in fact it's not that difference, in terms of the final purpose of facilitating the consummation of the deal. But technically there's some differences. That is why the MLS can differentiate between the seller's concession and the commission and treat it differently. Okay, so first of all, we have to know what's the definition of the seller's concession. Well, a seller's concession refers to a financial incentive offered by the seller to the buyer to help cover some of the buyer's closing costs or other expenses related to purchasing a home, such as original fees, appraisal fees, property taxes, or repairs. And lately, because of the interest rate differential, they would offer concession for buy down and interest rate, for the buyer. That's another incentive for the seller to entice the buyer to buy the property. So it's often used to make the transaction more attractive buyer, especially if the buyer is struggling to cover upfront costs. However, if you are paying all cash, it's no problem. You can offer any amount of seller's concession as much as you want. But if the buyer is applying some loans, that the lender usually have a cap on how much the concession, seller's concession can be. So for the conventional loans, primary residence or the second home, if you pay less than 10% down payment, the cap is at 3% of the purchase price. And if you put down 10% to 25% down payment, the limit is 6% of the purchase price. And if you put more than 25% down payment, the cap is at 9% of the purchase price. Now, for the investment property, such as the apartments, more than 5 units, then the cap is at 2% of the purchase price, regardless of the down payment size. And for FHA loan, the cap is at 6%. VA loan, the cap is 4%, and USDA loans, the cap is 6%. So the reason why you have such a limit is because the lenders want to make sure that the buyer has enough equity on the home, and also they will prevent the seller to inflating the price of the house in order to get in order to get more loans. So that's the rationale behind the limitation on the seller's concession. The difference between the seller concession and commission, technically that's quite a difference. But if you want to look the end result of the seller's concession and the commission, is typically just to facilitate the consummation of the deal. So if the eventual purpose is mainly consent, there's not too much difference between the seller's concession and the commission. But if you want to know the technical difference for the seller's concession, the purpose is to help the buyer offset some of the of out-of-pocket expenses in order to entice the buyer to purchase the property. And the benefit is, of course, mainly for the buyer. And as I said, there's a certain limitation to it if the buyer is applying for loans, and depends on what kind of loans you have. And the application is typically paid at the end of the at closing and credited directly to the buyer's closing costs. And for the broker's commission, the purpose is to help the brokers, whether the listing broker or this or the buyer's broker, and the benefit is, of course, the real estate agent involved in the transaction. That doesn't really benefit the buyer in terms of reducing the cost of acquiring the homes. The amount for the commission, you can negotiate any rate you want. Usually, typically is 6% share between the listing broker and the buyer's broker. But nowadays, after the NAR settlement, and usually the commission granted is to the listings agent, and usually it's 3% of the purchase price. And then the other 3% you have to negotiate between the buyer and you have to negotiate between the buyer's agent and the seller. Okay, and the commission payment is usually paid at the closing, and it's typically split between the listing agent and the buyer's agent. The difference, the key difference between the seller concession and the commission is, although the purpose is different. The seller's concessions is to reduce the buyer's closing costs, while the broker's commissions compensate the agents. The beneficiary is, of course, the seller's concessions benefit the buyer. The broker's commission benefits the real estate agent. And as far as payment source is concerned, both are paid by the seller, but the seller's benefit are direct benefit to the buyer, while the broker's commission is cost of selling the property. But eventually, the ultimate purpose is to facilitate the consummation of the deal. And actually, no matter where it's coming from, the seller's concession, technically, I mean, realistically, is often from the buyer, because the buyer pays for the whole deal, right? And and the cost of the transacting the business or transaction the deal is embedded in the purchase price. So whether the seller is really willing to accept the offer price, that's ultimately the decision of the seller, and all those commission or sellers concessions included in the purchase price and ultimately paid by the buyer, right? So technically, it's just a semantic, and it's not too much difference in eventual purpose. Now, where on the listing agreement does the seller commit to paying seller's concession? Now, in the RLA right now, there's no section that commit the the buyer to give the, I'm gonna commit the seller to pay the seller concession. But there's a new form, it's called the Multiple Listing Service Addendum, given by the CAR and MLSA. And this form is usually attached to the RLA, and by checking the 5B2 on the MLSA, the seller can authorize a listing agent to advertise on the MLS that the seller will consider the offers in which the seller's concessions are requested. Now, so you can technically you can mention about the seller's concession in the MLS listing, and but you cannot mention anything about the buyer's broker compensation or commission. So that's you know, an improvement, but I don't know. This is still pretty liquid, and it's not an ultimate decision yet. But this is something that the MLS is thinking of doing, and so kind of soften the stance of not mentioning anything about commission at all. So right now you can mention about the MLS in the MLS about the seller's concession, but you cannot mention anything about commission. Okay, that's the difference. Now in the RPA, where in the RPA can the buyer write in the request for the seller to pay seller's concession? There's two places in the RPA. One place is a 3G1 in the RPA that will credit the buyers for closing costs, which means that the seller is willing to pay the seller's concession. In 3G3, the seller agrees to pay the buyer's commission, and so that's the different places that you can enter into RPA, and you know, you can check either boxes or both boxes. You know, if the sellers are willing to pay for some concession as well as the commission, but it has to be separately negotiated in both cases. And so if you check the 3GA, I mean 3G1, and then you know, you have to separately ask for the you know, the paying of the closing costs. But if you check 3G3, then you have to attach the SPBB in order to get the buyer's broker compensated. Now, if the seller has authorized the listing agent to advertise on the MLS that the seller is willing to consider seller concession, and is it a binding contract? The answer is no, it's not a binding contract at all. It's just an invitation to offer. So you and even though it's advertised in MLS about the seller's concession, it's not a binding contract. You still have to negotiate for it. And so then you just like the SPBB, you have to negotiate separately, and the buyer, the seller can counter separately. And when they counter, they have three choices: either to fully grant the concession, or partially grant the concession, or just totally reject the offer for the concession. So just like the SPBB, you have three choices. Okay, so that's exactly the same regarding with the seller's concession. Now, if the seller were to counter the buyer's request to cover their broker's compensation, do they counter the compensation amount, or do they counter the purchase price? In other words, do they counter the purchase price or counter on the SPBB? Now, if they counter on the purchase price, it has to be countered through the RPA itself. Okay, and if it is countering on the commission paid to the buyer's broker, then they have to counter the SBPP, and they have to be specifically refer to the SBPP forms. If you want to compensate that on the commission item. Okay. Now, if the seller offers a seller concession, is it included in the limit, total limit on the lender's cap? Right now, the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and the FHA has indicated that they will exclude that from the caps. In other words, it has nothing to do with the caps that they put on the loan. It will be the same no matter what amount of seller's concession they are going to offer to the buyer. So that's the good news, and hopefully everybody will follow. All lenders will follow, and seller concession will become more popular. That will ease up some of the commission worries, right now. So, but this is pretty fluid things happening, and it's still evolving. And I don't know what the Department of Justice will say, and what comment they will make. All these kind of things. I don't know. Sometimes it's a semantic issue. It sounds different, but the purpose is really the same, and actually it's the same kind of animals. So, but anyway, that's the present situation now, and so keep in mind that if you offer sellers concession, you can advertise it in the MLS. But if you are just dealing with the buyer's commission, you cannot mention it at all. Okay, make sure that you understand that, because if you miss that, you put the commission on the MLS. There's a violation penalty of $2,500, and they don't give you the warning. Okay, so make sure that you understand that and stay away from that. Okay, all right. I'll stop here to entertain any questions you might have regarding this.
Okay, Peter, I have a question.
Yeah, Franco.
If the seller is offering the concession and he's giving it to the buyer, can the buyer also deduct that if he winds up giving, let's say, $8,000 to the agent? Can he deduct that from his taxes as a contribution or anything to the selling agent?
Yes, of course you can.
But then the buyer,
yeah.
But then the seller can also deduct it because he used it as a concession to get so they can do it both ways.
Yes, yes. You're
okay,
right.
just wanted to clarify.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Sure. Any more questions? Anytime you have hesitant, you have any question regarding this kind of issue, you can always come to me or Michelle. We're trying to help you.
Peter, I put it on the chat, but I just wanted to clarify. When the seller gives concession funds, it can be used for the buyer's closing cost other than the buyer broker commission. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, the buyer's commission is a separate item, so you cannot mix match it. That's why they have different treatment in the MLS. Mm-hmm. The seller's concession, you can advertise, but the buyer's commission, you cannot. Okay, Mary? Okay, any more questions? Okay, if no more questions, I would like to adjourn the meeting, and thank you for coming. Anytime you have questions, we're here to help you. Okay, hope to see you Thursday, 1 o'clock in person. Okay.
Okay, have a great
Have a
week.
great
and-
weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Happy
Bye, all.
Father's Day.
I'm here for you.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.